you here.
Hi.
Hi, good evening, good evening.
Hi.
Hi Kashmira. Hi Tanvi,
Hi.
Tanvi,
Hi.
Preeti, Ranjini, and Pranay. Dalia,
Hello.
hi, so good to see you.
Hi.
So good to see you. Welcome. I think this is a very live topic which people are interested in, and I would like to thank all of you all for agreeing to be here to share your experience with our audience, and welcome. So should we? It's already 8:31, and I think maybe we can just start off. I would like to welcome our special guests today, who are going to enlighten us about this telepathic communication with coronavirus. May I request everybody else to put themselves on mute, please, so that we can. There's clarity in. There's no background sound. Yes. I would like to welcome Preeti Garg. Preeti, where are you? Can you raise your hand so that everybody can see? Yes. Hi,
Hello,
Preeti.
everybody.
Preeti is an animal telepathic communicator, a Reiki healer, a former IT professional, and she is she's also a Bach therapy specialist. Welcome, Preeti. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
My pleasure. Then I would like to welcome Tanvi Kanetkar. Hi, Tanvi. Please raise your hand. Yes. Tanvi is an economics professional, a researcher. She moonlights as an animal telepathic communicator, and she has her own company, Atmantan, and through which she guides people and helps people find their lost pets, or if there are any health issues, she helps them with that. Tanvi, welcome. Thank you for being on board.
Thank you. Thank you for so much for inviting me.
My pleasure. Then I have Ranjini. Where is Ranjini? Yes. Hi, Ranjini. Ranjini is an energy healer, and she has her own company, and also a telepathic communicator, and works with the energies of human beings and of animals also. And then we have Pranay Manjeshwar. Hi, Pranay. Welcome. Pranay is a professional in an advertising company, in a marketing company, and Pranay moonlights also as an animal telepathic communicator. Welcome, Ranjini, Pranay. Thank you so much for being on board. And
Thanks, Lena.
my pleasure. Now, just to give you a background about how this whole thing came up, okay? Last year, around this same time, some of my friends, animal telepathic communicator friends, and I were jamming. Okay, we were just getting together, and we were, practicing our communication skills. When one of them said that, how about speaking to coronavirus? And then we were like, oh my god, should we speak with coronavirus? And one of them was like, no, I'm not going to speak with coronavirus. So that thought just dissipated somehow, but I said, let me speak with it and see if I can really communicate with it, and whether it talks back to me or no. So I focused into coronavirus, and lo and behold, it did talk back to me. It took me by surprise also that I could communicate with it, and I asked it a very simple question like, "What is your purpose? Why are you over here?" And it said to me that something to the effect, I don't remember the exact words. It said to me that people have lost it, humans have lost it, they need to be taught a lesson, they have not used their resources correctly, and they have whatever resources that they have got, they have squandered these resources. So I am here to teach them a lesson. Now, I did not need any more explanation on this statement, because you look around us and we obviously have squandered our resources. So I did not ask it any more questions. A few days later, as a past life regression therapist, may I request the others, everybody, to put themselves on mute, please? There's some vessels banging around over here in somebody's house. Thank you. So as a past life regression therapist, I was working with a subject, and I made her go through this astral travel, and through that astral travel she roamed around the world, and it was in May last year, and she roamed around the world, and then I brought her back into her body, and I asked her, what did you see? And she said that the world is the same as it is. And this is right during the last year, the same time during the coronavirus peak, that the people have not improved, they have not learned their lesson, and people have gone back to doing the things that they were doing, and she felt so disheartened. And it was really disheartening because 1 year down the line, like today, we are seeing that coronavirus has come back again with a full force. And apparently we humans did not learn our lessons at that time. So just 2 days ago, Mr. Jaideep Lele is also with us. I think Jaideep, yesterday you asked, hi Jaideep, yesterday you asked in a group that has anybody spoken with coronavirus, and then dhadadhad everybody started responding, saying that yes, they have spoken to coronavirus and this is what it has said to them. And what came out was really shocking, and I said, we need to take the message of coronavirus to the world, because it is PTKS Gymnastics, can you please mute yourself? Thank you very much. Yes. Please mute yourself. Thank you. So the message that coronavirus is trying to give us again and again needs to be taken to the larger and wider audience, and that's why I thought, let us have this group, let us talk to other people and send this message out, and then see what happens. So here I have on the panel over here these lovely people who are animal telepathic communicators. And I would like to invite Preeti Garg. Can you please share what the coronavirus said to you?
So, I'd love to share the message that I got from Corona. So
Yes.
I think I first communicated with Corona when it last year when it started. And there was a lot of fear that happened there.
Wait, can you speak a bit loudly? Is it just me, or can you hear Preeti?
I think there's a lot of background. Somebody has to mute themselves.
Okay, can we request, even I'm going to mute myself, so
Yeah, that's better. Am I more audible now?
Much better.
Fantastic. I think I last spoke with Corona last year when there was a lot of fear, a lot of confusion, and there was a lot of media reports about how it is destroying the planet and humankind and all of that. And I said, really, I mean, why are you here, and why so many people, so many of us are impacted by it? And I said, I'm just doing my job, really. You guys have been, in the name of progress, you've been on a breakneck speed. Human beings single-handedly have caused the destruction of the maximum number of species. So this is nature's way of putting a brake on what you're doing, like a speed breaker. And we are healing. And what it said was the healing energies of the universe at this point of time are exceedingly high. And it was quite apparent in the next 1 or 2 months how there are dolphin sightings, and everything just improved, the quality of air. And it said that it was you as human beings just educated Can I
Okay, sorry. Can we request all of y'all to mute yourself, please? Whoever it is. Yes, please mute yourself. Aparna,
Sorry.
please mute yourself. Thank you.
So it says that if we just took the time to be with ourselves, take a pause and meditate, or just be mindful about our existence, that would help us de-stress and build our immunity. That was the message I got last year, and today I was again talking to it, and I said, are we really not immune to you? And I said, no, you are. You have the immunity against me, just so suppressed because of the lifestyle that you lead, the stress that you have in your life, that you've suppressed your immunity. But actually, I'm just a flu. So, if you focus on yourself, your own wellness and well being, and those of others, and realize that you're all interconnected, then I'm not that sinister to you. So that's what I received from it. Some of the things, yes.
Right. That is wonderful, Preeti. Thank you so much. It resonates with what I spoke with it the last year, and the message is the same with you too. Thank you very much. May I invite Ranjini Banerjee to share her communication with coronavirus, please?
Yeah, thank you, Leena. And Preeti, I also resonate a lot with the communication that you've had. So last year during when we were under the lockdown, and I was doing a session with someone who had lost a parent to the coronavirus infection. So even during that communication, the message that had come through was a very deep connection with suppressed grief, and what it was communicating that humanity as a whole and we as a species, due to the kind of lifestyle we are leading and the fast pace and all of it, there's a lot of suppressed grief that hasn't been expressed, and that is stored in our cellular bodies, and it's almost like we've reached like a tipping point. And so this virus is also here to help us reconnect to that emotion, help us open up. So it's like a heart opening process so that we can touch base again with the softer human nature and start evolving from there. So that was one of the communications I had received last year. And this time again, Leena, when you invited us to have a communication with the virus. So what I've got again is that so we have, as human species, we have deviated from the original blueprint of our lives. What we had planned, what we had thought, and how we were supposed to move ahead. Somehow we seem to have deviated from that. And there is a lot of unexpressed pain around that deviation. And there is apparently a part in us which has prayed to return back to innocence, to return back home, to return back to that way of life. And as an answer to this collective prayer, that the virus has shown up as a part of the collective consciousness. So it's like each of us has a role and responsibility in the creation of this virus. So the more that we go out there and blame that, it's because of somebody else or something else out there that all of us are suffering. So the virus says that that's not true. Each one of us has a part of our consciousness which has contributed to the creation of it. And it's an answer to that prayer to return home. And they were saying that without an additional external impact, we wouldn't have made the changes required to break down the structures which are no longer serving us. So they're saying that because we were not being able to do it by ourselves, we needed this external situation or circumstances to kind of help in the collapse so that we can rebuild again. And one very important point they were mentioning is that they resonate at a very fast frequency. So the speed of movement is very, very fast for them. So whenever we are, say, in a state of agitation, anxiety, anger, then that movement, that vibration matches that of the virus. So what we are being asked to do is also how Preeti was suggesting, that they are asking us to return back to shorter and shorter durations of stillness during the day. So if we can create these little pockets of restfulness during the day and pause, take a break, calm down, it is going to help in rewiring our system and like our nervous system and the agitated heart and all of that. And we are going to start slowing the speed. And once we reach that stillness in the field, they are saying that we can sense your energy fields. So when we sense the stillness and in your field of influence, then we no longer associate there because our purpose has anyway served. So then we move off from there, we drop out from there. So they are not going to be able to take a host when a person is in that field of stillness. And the last thing that they're sharing about is this, that we gather in groups and we move in the safety of numbers to hide the loneliness within. So it's almost like we've been using crowds and groups to cover up everything that we don't want to feel, the deep loneliness that all of us are feeling. And they're saying that to develop your immunity actually is to have the capacity to be there for yourself and only then for the other. So that is what we are being asked to work with to build up the immunity. And they're saying that, once you're okay being alone, you will be okay in the crowded world, but you can no longer use the crowd to hide yourself. So they're saying this isolation that we are fearing so much is actually like a reconnection to the self. And so that's the journey of kind of learning to belong back into the world. So yeah, these are some of the points.
My God, that's really amazing that they are mentioning, the virus is mentioning why it is here, and it is also telling us ways. Now that is my mini who is playing over there. So I'm going to quickly request Tanvi to share your conversation with coronavirus.
Yeah. Hi everyone, and thank you, Leena, for having me. So I didn't really focus about communicating with the virus last year. It was this year particularly that I was intrigued by how the cases were increasing again gradually after a good reduced number. So that was what intrigued me in the first place. So I started off with the purpose of being here on the planet, and the responses that came out were extremely resonating with what our lifestyle is as human species today. So what I received was basically as humans we have grown or developed into something we tend to think ourselves of something very higher in the hierarchical order. Here it's important to understand that COVID has not affected any of the other species. That is a very clear sign that it has given us that we are extremely vulnerable and we are not that developed that we highly think of ourselves. And secondly, whatever treatment we have been given, we have given to the planet, to the other species of, torturing them, taking them for granted, and not really respecting them, has all turned up against ourselves as a species as a whole. And somewhere down the line, it has given us an opportunity to reflect on our behavior, whatever we have over the past few decades.
Zoom is live now.
Okay, so it has over the past few decades. Secondly, the next important thing that I received was as humans, we have started to shift more on materialistic things or focusing on more materialistic things. It has given us an opportunity to introspect what we have become in this rat race, to just reflect on basically our thoughts, going from basic, like how we feel. We tend to suppress our thoughts a lot more than we actually consciously do, because subconsciously we are autopiloted to, suppress our emotions or suppress whatever we are feeling. And through this lockdown, it has brought about a lot of different emotions, I can say. In the sense, it has given us an opportunity to just feel how our emotions go from being extremely peaceful to being extremely angry within, just seconds. So it tells me that, you need to actually live mindfully or live in the present moment, to just introspect what you have and what you have become. Focus on more of non-materialistic things. Focus on what relationships you have developed around you. Are those purely out of love, respect, or are those just an adjustments that you have made? Moreover, it has also, what I received from the communication is more like, you need to also focus on developing yourself internally, making your systems more stronger by eating much healthier food. I don't know what healthier counts as, but what I received primarily, to just reflect on what we have come as species so far. So yeah.
Wow, see, so many different people are communicating with the coronavirus, and the message that is coming out is same. It's almost the same. It's virus is telling us the same message again and again. So thank you, Tanvi, for this brilliant conversation with the virus. Now may I request Pranay Manjeshwar to share your conversation with coronavirus.
Yeah, sure. Sharing my conversation with the coronavirus, which I'd had around the same time last year, I'll just step back a bit to maybe somewhere towards the latter half of 2019. Before the whole COVID. So COVID was first somewhere around December or thereabouts in Wuhan, right? That's when it first surfaced. But somewhere in the second half, maybe around October, November or thereabouts, there was a lot of concern about climate change, about where the planet is headed. There were a lot of warning signs which were already there. And at that point in time, me and a lot of other fellow communicators did, get in touch and communicate with the planet Earth as a whole. And, there were documentaries, or there were several warnings which were issued. For example, Sir David Attenborough himself talked about where the Earth is heading with indiscriminate plundering of all the natural resources, the natural wealth, so on and so forth. We had the Friday, the Fridays for Future movement, which Greta Thunberg and a lot of school kids across the world had also started. And there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of concern about where we as a planet are headed and where we are taking the planet, where we are taking the planet from the future generations perspective, and while communicating with Mother Earth at that point in time, what I had got, and what a lot of other fellow communicators would also perhaps resonate with, is the fact that the planet beyond a point does not need humans. It's humans who are dependent on the planet. The planet is good enough and can regenerate and can take care of itself. And there are ample examples in the history. And the vision that I had got at that point in time was that of Chernobyl, and the way Chernobyl after the 1986 disaster, when humankind actually evacuated the entire zone, the way it's beautifully regenerated itself, and rewilded itself, and is like a thriving wild population over there, a thriving wild habitat. So the planet at that point in time, the message was very, very clear that we can take care of ourselves. You all might probably you all are only digging your own graves, in the sense by doing what you all are doing, and if you all don't mend your ways as a species, then we will as the planet, we need to then, we have our checks and balances in place, That's something which very clearly came out at that point in time. I first communicated with the coronavirus as a complete group, somewhere back in around May, when the entire thing of the lockdown and the initial stories of what's happening around the planet started surfacing. That's when I connected with the coronavirus in the month of May, and my question was more about what is it that you're doing? There's so much that's happening. There's so much of turmoil globally. So many people that are struggling. So what is it that you're doing? And at that point in time, very clearly, I got a similar message to what a lot of my fellow communicators have just pointed out. About the fact that we are here as a check and balance to keep the planet in order and to rectify a lot of the damage that has already happened. Having said that, we are also here as a huge opportunity for humankind. So do not treat us as your enemies, but treat us as an ally in actually returning to our roots, and reconnecting with our consciousness, reconnecting with the planet. So that's something which very clearly came about as a communication with the coronavirus. The fact that it's here as a check and balance, essentially. And it was evident, it was visible. I mean, there's a lot of stories that I'm sure all of us have taken a look at in terms of how things how the air quality improved, how the how wildlife started reclaiming a lot of places, how climate the climate overall started improving, the quality of air I just talked about. So in a sense, it was like that kind of a check and balance. And the virus at that point in time had also communicated very clearly, that if you all don't change now, then you all are just headed towards your own doom. So now's the time to change. I'm here as a warning. I'm also here as an enabler for all of you to make that change. And we keep talking about the new normal. It keeps getting repeated ad nauseum. And I think a lot of things to do with the new normal, for example, new ways of working, work from home. I'm sure a lot of us over here are working from home. And while we are doing that, one is, of course, a lot of fuel, which there's a lot less fuel which is actually getting consumed or getting burnt. So that's from the environment perspective. Apart from that, a lot of family values, I'm sure a lot of us would have noticed, a lot of people are spending a lot more time indoors with their family. A lot of family values which we had kind of drifted away from, which we'd kind of moved away from, are a lot of the old world values are again coming back into our lives, into our way of living, into the way we interact with fellow humans. So while we may be socially distanced in the whole process, I think what it's done is we've moved more inwards. We are having a lot more conversations with ourselves. We are having a lot more conversations with our own people indoors at home, and bonding together as families. So so I think these are some of the messages that I had also got from the virus at that point in time. Somewhere we've lost our connect value systems, and in a sense, this is a way to bring us back to those basics. This is what came about during the course of my first communication with the virus. This was back in, like I said, around May of last year, when this entire turmoil was happening. I again reconnected with the virus recently, a couple of weeks back, because it's back with a bang, and how, I mean, all of us are aware of that. And I tried to ask, what is it that's happening now? And very clearly the message that came from the coronavirus at that point in time is, see, I'd sounded an abundant warning to all of you, a year back, to mend your ways, to work towards improving the overall planet and the conditions and so on and so forth. And yes, y'all were following it. Y'all were in fear of me at that point in time, and y'all were kind of behaving yourselves, so to speak. Whereas we reached a stage now where you again started slipping back or drifting back into your old ways. A lot of things that needed to be mended, they were temporarily addressed, but you all are coming back with a bang. And if this goes on, I have no choice but to be there and to maintain that check and balance. And while asking the virus, so what is your plans? I mean, how long do you intend continuing here or being here? And the answer I got is as long as it takes, because I'm not in any hurry. I'm here with a specific purpose. There's a specific reason I've arrived, and I'm in no hurry to go off anywhere. I'm here at the end of the day. From the overall planet perspective, humankind is just one species which is getting impacted, and which is a minor thing of it. So I'm here to stay. You'll have to probably deal with it. So essentially, yeah, that's the communication which I got from the the coronavirus when I spoke to it on both occasions around this time last year, and a similar time a few weeks back. Well, I guess a couple of days back, I tested positive. Me and my wife, we both tested positive, and we are both hosting the virus at this point in time. This is probably day 3 in my quarantine period. And I had a more personal discussion then with the coronavirus as well, saying that, okay, fine, this is the message. Why me? I mean, why is it that you've decided to kind of come and reside in me at this point of time? And the message that I got here was a lot more of a personal advice to me as an individual. So the rest of it was a lot of global gyan, so to speak, which was for the planet on the overall level, for humankind as a species, and so on and so forth. But when I spoke to the virus as to why me, and what is the message that you have? Okay, not exactly why me, but I did embrace whatever I'm going through right now, and thankfully it's I'm fortunate enough that my symptoms are very mild. But I did ask, what is the message that you have for me now as an individual? For Pranay as an individual, what is the message that you have? And the answer that I got here is, you've been going too fast. You've been working too fast, or you've been moving too fast. And just to give you an idea, around a week back, we just had a wonderful holiday, and while we were there on that holiday, I didn't get a single phone call from home, or I didn't get any emails which I had to urgently revert to or reply or so on and so forth from office. So the sky, so to speak, didn't really collapse on my head or around my workspace, despite my long absence from leave. Once we returned and I was all set to get back to work, the virus then told me that things were fine in your absence. Things went on absolutely fine. It's not that everything rests on your shoulder. You don't have to carry all the burdens of work on your on your shoulder. So it's okay to take it a bit slower, and just chill for a while, rest for a while, and slow the pace of your activity. So that's the kind of message that I got from the virus as a personal message, saying that slow down a bit, put your feet up, relax a bit, and everything will be fine. Nothing will come to a grinding halt. Nothing will get impacted in your absence. So I think these are the messages that I've got from various stages. One, the species on the whole, and secondly, me as an individual as well. So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Pranay. This was quite an in-depth conversation you had with the virus, and now that you are hosting the virus, it is giving you some kind of personal advice also, and you're checking yourself to see whether were you really running around that fast that the virus had to reside in you.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of work pressures that were there. So being in the media industry, there is a lot of and I'm sure a lot of other people also in this would be caught up in your work pressure, irrespective of the industry that one is in. And yes, I was running around, March being the financial year ending, where I have a lot of targets to be met, a lot of business deadlines to be met, budgeting for the next year, and so on and so forth.
So bang on, the virus was bang on. I mean, I don't know whether it is a he or she,
Right.
it caught on to you, and it's asking you to slow down, right? And in
That's
fact,
right.
it's asking the whole world, the whole of humanity, to slow down. It's interesting that it's only the humans who are contracting the virus, and it has left all the other species alone, right? So far,
It has been inhabiting. It's to begin with. I mean, it's come from the wild, right? Popular theory is that it's come from bats. So it has come from the wild. Having said that, in the wild, other animals apart from the humans are a lot more grounded. They are a lot more rooted. They are a lot more connected to the overall source energy, which is why they've kind of coexisted all along. And that's the reason humans are getting a lot more impacted, because we are a lot less connected, as I say, to the overall to the overall cosmos as a species. So yeah.
right. Thank you so much. Now, some people have posted some questions. I'm going to read them out, and I would request maybe Preeti, you could take this question. Is what is the solution? Is there more coronavirus coming? Preeti, can you please respond to this?
Sure, So, my communication is that Corona is the new normal. It is here to stay, and it is going to be around till we redeem ourselves. So whatever we are feeling, either you're feeling isolated or you're feeling triggered with close proximity with family members. Corona is bringing out everything that needs to be healed within ourselves, parts of us that need to be healed within ourselves, and our environment and relationships. It could be relationship with parents, at work. You will find those will repeatedly come to you. And lots of people will say, earlier we used to go out for a party, or we had so many different things to do, but now we are all stuck in one space, so we are all at each other. But actually, until you heal yourself and the things that are coming to you, so instead of saying running away from those things, even the fear that is coming to you, that oh my god, will I get the virus? Oh my god, what is going to happen? Just calm yourself down. Follow the normal social distancing norms. Wash your hands and trust in yourself. Be relaxed. You'll be fine. That's what I have been doing. Every time I step out, of course I have Bashkar cleansers also. That's the only additional thing that I do. But apart from that, I think just be true to yourself, be more conscious, and accept that Corona is going to be here. It's not going to go away anytime soon. Because we clearly have not really, we're very slow at learning our lessons. So that's what I would suggest. That's the communication I have.
Thank you, Preeti. Basically, everybody's been asking the same question: when is it going to go, and how are we supposed to tackle this coronavirus? And there is another question also. It might seem irrelevant right now, but I may as well ask. Maybe Ranjini, if you could respond to this question: is how did it come into existence? How did the virus come into this earth?
Yeah, so in fact, I had kind of put out the question that, where do you come from? And the response that I received from the virus was that there is no one place that we belong to. and we came into existence through the energies in this universe and are a part of it. So certain combinations of our collective thought, beliefs, and consciousness has given birth to us. So we come from you. So I think that's a very important point for us to remember, that each one of us has a role to play in the creation of this virus. And so so till when is it going to be here and all of that. So they had given the time of, say, August, wherein we are in this intense phase. So till August, they have mentioned it's an intense phase, but it doesn't mean, they haven't said that they're just going to disappear after that, because it's almost that they're responding to our behavior, they're responding to us. So once we can start working with ourselves at an individual level, and then possibly together as a group, they are going to be responding to it, because like I said, the first thing they shared was they are not here to punish, they are like an answer to our prayers. So if we can remember that and not give in to this fear that is being kind of thrown at us and treat it like an enemy, but to see that how is it helping us realign. So I think that's going to help in toning down the impact as we go along.
Okay, thank you, Ranjini. Tanvi, if you could take the next question, is somebody is asking is, why is it killing people? Have those people done something wrong?
Yeah, sure. Am I visible? Yeah. So basically, what I had received is that some people have, been mentally extremely weak. Like before the virus, they were particularly very mentally strong, but the virus and the lockdown and the introspecting, going inwards, have been something not very positive for them. As in mentally, they have kind of become extremely weak to the point that their system did not support themselves. So what the message was for the people is that when you are mindful, do not let go of your system. Do not disbelieve in your system. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your system that it's strong. It's there to protect you. And if you have it in you to believe in yourself in the first place, then only you can believe in other person or other people or anyone else for that matter. So what I received was that when you are mentally weak, nothing around you is going to support you in your favor. So, yeah.
Right. Thank you, Tanvi. And I think the virus is telling us loud and clear to go within and activate your full potential, as that the human beings have the capacity to fight this. Not only fight this, it is because of our weakness that it came into existence in the first place. The way we are going about marauding the planet and all life forms and the earth, Mother Earth herself, to put a check and balance on what we are doing. The virus came into existence, and it has come into existence through our own consciousness, or right now we are unconscious. You can call us, we are unconscious right now. So it has come to awaken our consciousness, and the more we get awakened and the more deeper we go inside, find our inner direction, find our inner strength, to first focus on ourselves, to build ourselves from within completely, and then help other people also build themselves, to become humane again, if I may say that, to become humane again and be true to ourselves. And that is the time when the virus will think that it has done what it had come here to do, and then it will go. But until then, it promises, I mean, it's kind of a frightening promise. It's like मैं जब भी बोलता हूँ तभी करके दिखाता हूँ types dialogue the virus is saying that, you know, I am that stick, I am that rod who's going to, you know, beat you for not being what you should be doing, the whole of humanity. And it has come to teach us a lesson to go back to the roots. So that's quite a profound thing and a task that it has taken up on itself. So thank you so much. And are there any other questions? If anybody would like to ask, maybe we'll just take one or two final questions. Basically, the message of the virus is just one, like behave yourself. That's it. And
I'll give you a very simple, just to add, I'd like to give a very simple and a very tangible change that I have noticed, in my life over the last 1 year. So from the time I began my career, let's say, from the time I started working, from the time I began my career around 24 odd years back, I would leave home first thing in the morning. I would leave home early in the morning, and the next thing I would see is it's dark outside, all the street lights are on, and the glow signs of various shops are on, and so on and so forth. Right. And that would be a day in and day out affair. Over the last year, what I've actually discovered for the first time since I was probably in school or in college is that there happens to be a time of day which is called the evening. Right, because when you're working from home, you're looking out of the window, you go to office, you're stuck to your cubicle, you're stuck to your workstation, and you really don't know what's happening outside, right? And you go to office, you go to work very early in the morning, and by the time you decide to sign out and leave for home, it's quite dark, it's quite late. Whereas I'm at a stage now where every day also happens to have this time which is the evening, so that's something which I'm really beginning to enjoy, so like we talk about old world living, it's probably getting or drawing your attention back to some of these aspects of life and of living.
Right, thank you. So we'll take this last question. Somebody has asked is how should we humans not be afraid of the virus? I mean, how do we, face it? How do we keep the fear of corona at bay? That was the question. Preeti, would you like to take the question, please?
Sure. So one thing I would like to share is don't treat corona, or don't look at corona as something bad. That it's a killer or it's a destroyer. It's a tough teacher. It's teaching us a lesson to be honest to ourselves, honest in our relationships, and treat ourselves as human beings, not as machines. So be kind to yourself, compassionate to yourself, start with yourself there, and then with your closest family members. I would suggest if you are, as Bachelor, you could have rescue remedy. It is an extremely good, energy medicine to heal anxiety, and kind of it balances you out emotionally and mentally, and it's not addictive. It's just pure energy medicine. And just meditate. Wear your mask and wash your hands. Social distancing is, don't please ever compromise on that. But other than that, maybe before you go out, just close your eyes and talk to Corona and say, keep me safe. That's what I do, When I step out, and I know I'm going to go into a crowded place, and I say, keep me safe, guide me, so that I don't do anything that I contracted. And so far, so good. I've traveled like crazy. Pranay and I were on the same holiday that we were, we were a group of communicators who were traveling. And being safe. I've been traveling for the last 1 month actually. And it's been a good time. I've enjoyed myself and I'm back safe and fine. So that's all I'll say. Don't look at it as a killer or something to be fearful of. If you feel fear, it's normal. You can have rescue remedy, shut your eyes, meditate, think of the guru, the god, whoever gives you calmness. Think of them and say that, I'm divinely protected and guided, and I trust in the flow of life. That's a mantra that you can say. That helps, and I can tell you this from my personal experience.
Right.
Preeti, can I add something? If you don't mind, Neena? Yeah. So basically, as the first thing that I believe that you should be grateful that your body has supported you. Your body has supported you, like not catching the virus, not getting it. So being grateful, I think, is the first step to acknowledge that your body has supported you and it has been supporting you for the past years. And being grateful that just even in the peak COVID times, that your body has supported in wonderful times, it has not let down its guard. So I think being grateful is also one of the important things in this entire journey of protecting yourself. And even if you're a COVID host, it's nothing to be afraid about, because everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a very solid purpose, right? So just acknowledge that, even if I have got COVID, my body has got whatever it needs to learn from this. And I'm grateful that my body is actually learning, and I'm ready to let go of whatever the virus is. And I'm ready to take on the learning as, on an autopilot mode going ahead. So I think just being grateful and just acknowledging it as is and taking the learning out of it is something also important, I feel.
Yeah, Tanvi,
Yes, thank you.
I just want to just add one thing to what Tanvi is sharing. It's a beautiful way that you put it. And even if somebody's body is hosting the virus, please know that it is just an opening of your heart. You're opening up to a greater experience of your capacity to love and receive love. So just surrender to the process and don't be afraid of it. And yeah.
Right. Thank you, Ranjini. So, winding up, any Mr. Lele, any last words from you? First or last?
Okay, I hope I'm audible now. Now, I've been hearing all our friends, pretty interesting insights. I'd just like to share a couple of insights from me. The first question, when I asked about the virus as to whether it's a natural virus or how did it occasion? So the answer that I got was, sorry, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are
Okay,
audible.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I just received the call, so that was the reason. So the answer that I received to that was that there is some kind of human intervention. So it did occasion from the bats, but there was some kind of human intervention. I did not specify what kind of intervention. Then when I also asked it further, what is the reason why it's over here? All that it had to say is that because we have been directed to be here, it did not give me the source of where the directions came from. Now, when you read the entire narrative,
Mr. Lele, we've lost you. Where are you? Okay, we will give you a second to reconnect. In the meantime, Mansi, you're here, right? Mansi, would you like to say something? Are you with us? Oh, Mansi Patni, are you with us, sweetheart? Okay, do we have any other animal telepathic communicators with us?
Yes, I am there.
Who is this? Mansi?
Yeah.
Mansi, you were saying something. Just the final last contribution, please.
Yeah. So when I connected with Corona, when I had contracted it as well, I was trying to chat up and see what was the issue. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Go
we
ahead.
can.
Okay, so what message I had received was that to surrender and enjoy whatever is going on. Basically, we are very rigid with our ideas of surrender and enjoying. Surrender could be also to allowing people to help us enjoying with regards to the help or the service that we receive. we are not opening ourselves, or somebody said spoke about opening of heart as well. Loving self is something where we are not taking care of ourselves, and we are taking care of others more than. When she was talking, there was a lady who was talking about we are in the crowd and trying to serve people, trying to trying to take care of others because we are feeling lonely. So there, if we go within, I think, and spend more time with ourselves and try to know what makes us enjoy, and do things that we enjoy more, rather than focusing on, oh, they cannot live without us. No, it is not that. It is more so that whether you are there or not, life will go on, and you are here for yourself, and you need to learn for yourself. So loving self, surrounding in a new start to transformation, when one comes crash landing to ground zero. So when you are on ground zero, when you are lying down in the bed or you are in the hospital, you realize that life is not you, but you are here in the life to live it, to enjoy it, which you've not been doing till now. If people who are happy from within or peaceful from within, getting a job, receiving something, not receiving something, these are phases of life. Whether corona or not, people used to lose their jobs, whether people used to lose their loved ones, people used to, but we are so now mentally exposed, or socially, or visually, through television and through a lot of channels and mediums, we are so used to getting influenced by the propaganda and the news and the pain around, that we start getting affected by it. So we are not paying attention to ourselves, but we are getting detached, more attached to the pain that somebody else is going through, and then living it ourselves. It also said that it says it is gentle and is a great leveler for one and all. So the message was that so basically it is not for the rich or for the poor or anybody. It is affecting everybody as one. So we all need to learn something from it. Our financial circumstances, our life circumstances, all these things will matter, will not matter. It is how we take it. Once we start surrendering to the environment and learning from this particular pandemic that it's not us who's operating. There's some energy which is way beyond our capacity to understand at the moment, which is operating through us. Maybe there are people who can cope up, raise their vibrations to the vibrations of the corona energy that we are thinking is negative. Maybe it is a positive energy which has come through. If we all are thinking it's a negative energy, it is going to kill us. If we live in the fear and the energy of fear, if you're living it through, it is going to kill us. So I just got a very positive kind of feeling or message after corona, because I lost loved ones also. Most of my family members went through corona, they got out of it, but all I learned was that any which ways, before corona also we lost people, and we lost jobs, and there were financial issues, but we need to learn to just give in. Because there are certain situations that we will not be able to come over, or we need to just pray, come look up to God, or the energy whichever we believe in, and live it and enjoy ourselves and take care of ourselves however we can. We are more focused on taking care of others, more focused on how we are better off than others or along with others, but it is all about us. It is all about us. That's about it.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. Mr. Lele, you were saying something and we lost you. Could you please wind up in your last sentences, please?
Yeah. Apologies, I got a call, so that's why I disconnected. So the essential reason that COVID told me that it was over here is to bring us in touch with nature, because we have all drifted away from it. And it's like nature, not just the plants and the trees that you see, but also get in touch with your true self, as the rest of the friends have also suggested. Because we also are a part of nature. Now, as far as the second wave is concerned, all that it told me was that you guys are very resilient and you would not take the warning shots, and therefore it had to be in this form. And that's why it has mutated. So my learning from this entire COVID experience is that we better get back to our basics, understand why are we here in this shape or size and form, and not run after things. Another important thing that it mentioned was that here you puny humans, you think yourself to be the high and mighty, but here you are afraid of us tiny viruses which you can't even see. So go back and understand how mighty are you. So that's a direct reference to our ego and the way we inflate ourselves and assume ourselves to be whatever that we are not. We are as much an organism on this planet as much as anybody else. So that's essentially what I want to do.
Right. That is the lesson that the virus is trying to teach us, is that you are nobody. I mean, we are. You think you're so big and you're nobody. You know, in 1 second, me, a tiny thing, could get you, the whole planet, the whole humanity, down on its knees. So you need to bring your ego down, not just 1 or 2 notches, but flat on the ground. So that is the message that coronavirus is giving us through all the telepathic communicators we have on board today. And I think it was a very enriching and enlightening conversation that we've had, and a lot of sharing that we've had. And the message is loud and clear over here from the virus, is that get your act together, humans. Get your act together. You are no biggie. You're nobody. You're full of ego, and all this destruction of the resources, the Mother Earth, the planet that you were given as a gift, you have squandered it, and you continue to squander it. And last year, the virus is saying, I gave you a warning, but you did not listen to the warning. And once the things started easing up a little bit, you went back to where you were. So now I've come back with a double whammy, and I'm going to be here. The virus is saying I'm going to be here until humans learn their lesson and they bring themselves back to their humaneness, get themselves in touch with themselves, and go back to the roots, become humble, become loving, become caring, look at ourselves first. Human beings should look at ourselves first, go within, look at the inner strength that you have, build on that strength, and love yourself, love your neighbors, love the gift that the universe has given you guys, us, and cherish it. We should cherish what we have been given. So these are the final words, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for being over here. And I will be sharing this recording with all of y'all, and I hope you share this recording with all people, all of humanity. I mean, this recording, this message of the virus needs to go viral, because until we humans hear it loud and clear and take action, affirmative action, it's not going to go. So the sooner we straighten ourselves out, the sooner the virus is going to go and the pandemic is going to end. So it is up to us how and when we want the virus to go from our lives. Yes? Thank you so much. God bless you. Be well.
Thank
Be
you,
safe.
Leena. Thank you.
Thank you, Leena. Thank you so much.
If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get instant updates on my latest videos.